look at them. They're on their feet here at the SS Arena here in Belfast. So the wait is over. Both fighters hit the heights last time, but almost certainly a champion will lose his belt tonight. Let's get straight to it then and hand you back to MC Craig Stephen.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we make history as we stage the first world title unification in all Ireland. This is for the WBA Super and the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the world. Would you please welcome now the WBA World Champion from Kazakhstan, Double Z, Zhanat Zhakiyanov.
Well, Zhanat Zhakiyanov is just trying to treat this as another away day, and there have been plenty of those throughout the course of his career. Boxing has taken him all over the world, from Petropavl in Kazakhstan to Hyde, Manchester, where he now plies his trade under Ricky Hatton. It was a spectacular win in Toledo, Ohio back in February against Raushi Warren. Warren's backyard, he was down twice in the first round, but got up off the canvas to come back and get the victory. He has actually been to Belfast before, so the city not completely unfamiliar to him. Ryan Burnett just leaving that dressing room, the exact same dressing room he occupied back in June when he won this IBF title against Lee Haskins in what was a very tough, bloody battle.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome the IBF World Champion from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Ryan Burnett.
Ryan Burnett's career has exploded over the last 6 months. Back in Belfast in June, on a homecoming really, he won that red belt against a good champion in Lee Haskins. And first time out, he's taken a unification. The pressure on his shoulders now is more really than it has ever been. But Andy, he's somebody you know well, and he's come through some very, very tough times early in his career. Mentally, he's going to need that strength tonight.
He's going to need every ounce of strength tonight because he's fighting a real tough challenge here in Zhanat Zhakiyanov. I've watched Ryan grow, from a young fighter when he joined the gym in 2014 to become world champion. And seeing the effect it's had on him becoming world champion, he carries that air, the air of being a world champion. It's added to him. He's come on a lot. He seems to just carry a certain zen about him, that he doesn't care anything about his opponent. There seems to be no negativity at all in his mind, but he's just come here to win tonight.
Zhakiyanov, the older man of the two, a slight height advantage, but doesn't really translate into much of a reach advantage. 28 fights to Burnett's 17. Well, according to the bookmakers, Burnett is a huge favourite, 7-2 on Zhakiyanov at 5-2. I'm not going to pick a winner now, that's not my job, but those are massive odds for a champion.
I see this fight as a real 50-50. The both champions, to go to Ohio and beat Rashid Warren, it speaks volumes and says enough in itself. And Ryan knows he's in for a tough fight here. They've sparred together, they've trained together before. There was a big age difference then. Ryan's matured a lot more physically and mentally. But Zhanat has also improved. And this is a unification fight. This is as big as it gets in boxing. And it's...
Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing is very proud to bring you World Championship Boxing here from the SSE Arena this time, a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live on Sky Sports Fight Night and across the USA on HBO. We're proudly sponsored by DafaBet, by StubHub, and by JD Sports. And this is 12 rounds of boxing, unification, the WBA Super, and the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the World. Contest sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Chairman John Rees QC, President Charles Giles, and at ringside our steward in charge, John Williamson, MBE. The World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Jesus Mendoza, and our supervisor, Mr. Jesper Jensen. The International Boxing Federation, President Darryl Peoples, our supervisor, Mr. Peter Podgorski. At ringside, our three scoring judges. From the USA, Valerie Dorset. From Canada, Pasquale Procopio. And from the USA, Carlos Sucre. On the bell, timekeeper from Hillsborough County Down, Mr. Dale Elliott. And when the bell rings, in charge of the action, a veteran World Championship referee from England, Mr. Howard Foster. And so, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance here at ringside, and for those watching around the world on Sky and HBO, the officials are ready. The boxers are ready. Are you ready for the main event? Introduced in the red corner, wearing sky blue, dark blue trim. On the scales, 8 stone, 5 pounds, 4 ounces. He stands alongside his trainer, 2-weight world champion and future Hall of Famer, Ricky Hatton. His professional record, 28 contests, 27 wins, 18 inside the distance, only 1 defeat. Tonight, he makes the 3rd defense as the WBA Bantamweight Champion of the World. From Petroval, Kazakhstan, he is double Z, Zhanat Zhakiyanov. And in the blue corner, alongside multiple world champion trainer Adam Booth, wearing black with gold and weighing in at 8 stone 5 pounds 6 ounces. He has a perfect record. 17 contests, 17 wins, 9 inside the distance. The former WBO European, WBC International, and British Bantamweight champion. Tonight, making the 1st defense as the IBF Bantamweight Champion of the World. From Belfast, Northern Ireland, undefeated, Ryan Burnett.
Okay, fellas, spoke to you both in the dressing room. You both know what I expect. Keep it clean break straight away when told. Both you want your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Well, they both look very composed. Not a flicker from Zhakiyanov throughout all of that as Burnett was making his way to the ring and throughout the announcements. Burnett there, as we saw, just spreading those gloves wide, eyes closed, just soaking up the positive energy of this bear pit-like atmosphere in Belfast. Big roar from the crowd as the first bell goes, and the first round's going to be interesting. He did everything wrong against Rossi Warren, Zhakiyanov, back in February. He stood off a talented, technically good boxer, and he got pinned with shots and found himself down twice. He cannot afford that kind of start again, and early signs are here, Andy, as he's looking to shut Burnett down and get right on top of him.
It's what was expected from Zhakiyanov. He really is a bull and is always trying to come forward. Interestingly enough, he's kind of taking a stance where he's leaning to his right and throwing the jab high. He's looking to jab his way in. Ryan still hasn't made it out of his corner yet. that's just mainly down to Zhakiyanov's pressure.
Zhakiyanov just trying to trap the arm of Burnett there on the blind side of the referee, but again just goes straight back into close quarters. We saw a lot of head clashes here when Burnett fought against Haskins, and that wouldn't be out of the question here tonight. Again, by the look of things, he needed plastic surgery on 3 cuts, Ryan Burnett, but that's all behind him now.
Good whipping uppercut from Burnett as his back hit the ropes. I know that's a punch he's been working on in training. I think that we're going to see a lot of this early on. Not even fight one to give an inch, and Ryan really holding. You might see a little bit of grappling, just seeing just feeling each other's strength and seeing who's the stronger man there. Good snappy jab from Burnett, but also Zhakiyanov came back with his own jab.
He takes himself away from Kazakhstan for camps, for 12-week camps. Zhakiyanov, he's got a twin brother who boxed on the national squad with Gennady Golovkin, who was in the ring holding up that belt behind him, just falling short with that right hand there, Zhakiyanov. Deafening noise inside the arena here in support of Burnett, who will just be looking to shut all of that out. He talks about being able to switch over from the conscious to the subconscious mind in there, amidst all of this bedlam.
Howard Foster just having a word with him there, trying to tell him to tie it up a little bit. But this is the fight Zhakiyanov wants, the kind of ugly, brawling fight. Burnett getting his punches off should look like that's it. Punch and move, and use that distance. Try to keep Zhakiyanov at the end of his punches. You've got to be careful when he's looking for that uppercut, because Zhakiyanov can come with the left hook.
He was looking for that whipping uppercut, wasn't he? And it didn't miss by too much. Burnett just disengaging and then finding a little bit of space. Just wrestling towards the neutral corner on the far side, but again Burnett there just shaking himself free and popping off a combination. Interesting first round. This is the right Burnett corner, Adam Booth with the advice. Not easy to split them, was it?
Very close round. It's hard to split them. I couldn't split them actually. Maybe lean towards Zhakiyanov because he was pressing and he did land a good jab and a good right hand. But Burnett should see him, had a good look at him in that round. And Booth would have had a good look at him in that round. And that would probably look. But Zhakiyanov's cutting him, catching on in the punches. A good left hook from Zhakiyanov there.
Just as Burnett was looking to open up too.
He's got to be careful throwing that right uppercut because he's leaving his chin exposed.
He sunk it in nicely. Just before that, as he was back in the blue corner, his own corner, Burnett dipped away to right-hand side and landed a nice uppercut. But then, as he looked to load up on it a bit more, maybe he left himself a touch open, and Zhakiyanov came back with a right and left hand himself.
Burnett's never been one to get on his toes and move and box and try to be like a slick counterpuncher, but he might have to tonight because he needs to find a way to he's got to make Zhakiyanov respect his power. He's going to have to land something telling in the next round or two to make Zhakiyanov think twice about just walking into range like that.
Nice little left on the inside there for Burnett. Zhakiyanov again just comes forward and
walked into the uppercut there, it didn't land.
One thing I saw them working on in the gym when I went down to Surrey 2 or 3 weeks ago, Burnett and Adam Booth, was turning Zhakiyanov, getting in close, throwing punches, getting in close and then turning.
Body shot from Burnett there.
It was a good solid one, wasn't it? We could hear that right above us.
Burnett getting drawn into the machoism, which I would advise against. Doesn't need to man up, doesn't need to be Zhakiyanov in a competition of being the biggest man in the ring or the biggest, having bravado or machoism. He just needs to box and keep him at the end of his punches and use his skill and talent heavy shots here from Zhakiyanov on the ropes.
Springing forward that left hand, Zhakiyanov. He's got a kind of wild stare about him as he focuses on his opponent. In that ring just above us, Burnett just trying to keep that head on the move, avoid that kind of fast twitch movement that we saw so much of against Haskins. And he's developed since he's been training with Adam Booth. Nice left to the body there from Burnett. Zhakiyanov is right back on the shoulder again, cupping right hand, but the Kazakh took it. Looking for the uppercut. On the inside there, Burnett. Zhakiyanov finds just enough room to get that left hand free and land a short punch of his own, and then another one as Burnett's just backed up towards the ropes. Welcome back, and this is a nervous watch for some people. And it can't be any more nervous than it is for the person you're looking at there. That's Laura Milner, Ryan Burnett's partner, and interestingly, she's been going over to camp with him. Last 4 times he's had fights, she's spent camp in Surrey with Burnett. Good for his peace of mind and just for his relaxation to have her there. It's quite unusual, actually. Usually if a fighter takes himself away for camp, then he cuts off all ties with everybody, really.
Yeah, she's a good influence on Ryan. She does a lot of the cooking, and it just makes it easier for him while he's in camp. She's always encouraging him, but I've given the last 2 rounds to Zhakiyanov, but I'm conflicted here. Ryan's my friend, and the rounds are very hard to split. I could give it either way. I just given it to Zhakiyanov because he's pressing forward, and he started the last round very well. And Ryan's growing as the fight progresses. Ryan seems to be growing and getting a foothold in the fight, but the first 2 rounds I got to have Zhakiyanov.
Looking for the overhand right there, Zhakiyanov. A little uppercut on the inside too, and he's just slightly beating Burnett to the punch when they're up close like that. Nice left hand aimed there by Burnett, but Zhakiyanov dropped the right elbow on it.
This fight is suiting Zhakiyanov at the moment. I'm sure he's really happy about the way things are unfolding here. I don't think he would have anticipated this type of fight. Ryan is, for some reason, only known to him and Adam, and he's choosing to hold his feet. When he's at distance like this, he should be trying to get his punches off and making Zhakiyanov pay for coming into distance.
It was a nice combination from Burnett there as he was just backed up to the ropes, and Zhakiyanov did give a little bit of ground. To put some power in the uppercut there. Burnett, I think Zhakiyanov managed to block it for the most part, and comes back with his own right hand, and just a little bit of daylight has appeared between the two now. We haven't seen too much of that in the fight up until this point, and immediately Zhakiyanov looks to try and shut it down.
Stab to the body from Zhakiyanov with the jab. All of this holding and wrestling and clinching, it drains your energy. You have to be conditioned for that. I know Ryan's trained a little bit for this. Just pushing Zhakiyanov back now, Ryan. Trying to get his respect. Right hand counter from Ryan.
Zhakiyanov just missing with the right hand as he came in there, and his weight just took him forward slightly. We'll need to be wary of that.
Good body shot from Burnett there. Right hand under the elbow.
Foster just warning Burnett about getting careless with the head on the inside there. The heads are very close together at times. They're rubbing together more than anything else. They haven't really clashed yet as Burnett backs up towards the blue corner. Three rounds down, 9 to go. This a unification, the IBF and the WBA super titles in the bantamweight division on the line, and it's been fought at close quarters so far.
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty so far. A lot of close range action and a lot of tying up and holding and grappling. But I see Ryan starting to get a foothold in the fight. Good job to start the round from Burnett.
Just saw the water spraying off the head there of Zhakiyanov, and another good jab just slung up from the waist, and that got a good reception from that Burnett corner over on the far side.
Zhakiyanov, you can see, kind of plants his feet and kind of gets into an almost half a squat position. And from there, it's very hard to move forward or back. Ryan shouldn't be trying to move him back, just trying to hit at him and move around him.
Just dipping the head there, Burnett, and there's a little bit more of that rapid head movement. And then just flicking out that right-hand lead. We saw the right-hand lead a lot against Lee Haskins, and I think you're right. I think Burnett is just growing a little bit in confidence here in this fourth round.
I think so. I think he's felt a little bit what Zhakiyanov had to offer, and now he's starting to apply his own tactics. Good left hook on the inside by Burnett.
Short right hand from Zhakiyanov, just checked the chin of Burnett, who looks to thump in another left.
Two to the body from Burnett there. What people don't understand about Ryan Burnett is that he can do this as well. He can fight inside, and he's very powerful there too. I'm not sure if Zhakiyanov would have predicted this or expected this from Burnett. It may not be the prettiest to watch, but so far this round it's been effective, and he's bullying the bully.
Foster just telling Burnett not to hold there. Right hand comes in again, and Zhakiyanov just looking to hold on a little bit.
Immediately body shot there from Burnett.
As I'm leaning on here, he's just able to find a little bit of room, Burnett, that he wasn't in the first few rounds, left to the body, but then Zhakiyanov answered that left from Burnett with a good one of his own. This is really sapping stuff. This is going to take it out of you very quickly.
It's kind of a testament to Ryan's conditioning at the moment, that he's able to punch with such force after 3 rounds of grappling.
Zhakiyanov looking to let go of the uppercut, and then immediately, as it finished and he missed it, it turned it into a right hand. A couple of good shots off the back foot there from the Kazakh.
Heads coming close together on the inside there.
Stepping in with that front foot there, Zhakiyanov just looking to try and crowd Burnett a bit. Plant the legs either side and keep him in that corner if he can. Bell goes at the end of the round again, and Zhakiyanov just heading for the corner. Ricky Hatton, Mike Jackson doing the work in there.
A little smile at the end of that round from Ryan Burnett. I think that was his best round so far. Maybe he's going to continue that way.
But you've got to make more space. Either a nudge like you did with the breezy guy. A little nudge to make that space. Pull your feet back quick. Yeah? Just shift your weight then. Water, mate.
That's quite animated stuff from Ricky Hatton there. He's saying that he's just got to bump him, barge him, create a bit of space and give himself an opportunity to get some punches going, to let his hands go on the inside, because we saw a little bit of a shift in that fourth round because it was Burnett who was able to do that.
I think they're surprised that Burnett was able to push him backwards. You can see he's come out now. Zhakiyanov with a whole new demeanor. You can see when he gets in position, he kind of goes into a little half squat, and it's very hard to move from that. So now he's kind of planted to the ground. Great punches off the ropes from Burnett and calls him back in.
Well, the Irishman's warming to his task here, certainly, but Zhakiyanov, who's not found someone who is going to back off, who's not found someone who is going to be intimidated or is going to have his will broken. He's proven that to us.
It's a good stiff jab from Ryan, and a good left hook counter on the ropes. He needs more of that jab, just to disrupt the rhythm of Zhakiyanov. That's it.
Zhakiyanov looking for the jab. He got the left hand away on the inside there more effectively.
Inside, yeah. Ryan comes back with his own left hook. Big right hand from Burnett there, round the side, almost lands on the ear of Zhakiyanov.
Maybe just a slight nick on the right-hand side of the forehead of Burnett, which is exactly where he was cut against Haskins, but it doesn't look to be anything too serious at the minute. The heads are rubbing together a lot. I think it's probably an abrasion more than anything else, and again, they just get to work on the inside.
I think Ryan's trying to prove a point here. He's putting on display of conditioning, strength, but he's also trying to prove the point that he won't be bullied in there. There was talk about spars with Zhakiyanov in the past and how he went and broke Zhakiyanov one day. He used the word broke in a spar, and I think he's trying to do that again. I think if he saw some weakness in Zhakiyanov, maybe he's trying to exploit that again.
So left hand from Zhakiyanov as Burnett again was just dipping low, looking to try and come in and shift through a couple of gears on the inside. Right there from Burnett.
Good combinations from both men. Neither fighter can allow any lapse, even a moment in concentration here, because they're both firing back immediately. As soon as you stop punching, there's a punch coming straight back at you.
Well, Burnett takes a seat in the corner, familiar team around him. And there is just a nick. And it is exactly where he was cut the last time. It might just be that kind of scar tissue almost just coming up a little bit. Burnett just smiling at Zhakiyanov there as Kazakh fighter came forward with a combination.
Long for a little bit longer. Yeah. You're going to go up close and fight with him. Get off first. Yeah, yeah. And go low, because when you go low, he don't go with you. Okay.
Into the sixth, and Zhakiyanov again in those light blue shorts, the WBA super champion in the bantamweight division. Looks to come forward again. Nice uppercut on the inside there from Zhakiyanov.
A lapse in concentration there from Burnett, and he paid for it by taking that uppercut. What's happening?
Well, his shoulder. He's just reached for his collarbone or his shoulder. I don't think it's serious. It could even have been a head colliding just with the underside of the jaw, possibly, but that's what it looked like. And it's that kind of a fight where the limbs are intertwined on the inside a lot, and they're both trying to extract themselves and really get some leverage in that. An arm injury, a shoulder injury, an elbow, it's very possible.
Commanded grappling, you could easily see how someone's shoulder could come out of this, become dislocated, and the way their heads are coming close together, you can see more cuts happening as the fight wears on. This is a brutal fight, and it's a testament to both men's conditioning that they're able to stand here and fight like this.
Well, we saw Lee Haskins suffer a shoulder injury when he lost that IBF title to Burnett, and he just grit his teeth and got on with it. Never used it as any kind of excuse at all, which was very much to his credit. Burnett just doubling up with a left hand to the body and then using those feet.
Zhakiyanov needs to try maybe just something a little bit different. You can see that his plan is just to walk forward, try to pin Ryan, wear him down. Maybe they're hoping to come on later on in the fight and hopefully tire Ryan out. That down the stretch Ryan will tire if they invest early with this early pressure. So coming down the stretch, they're very close there. Both men exchanging right hands and very close to landing.
think a forearm landed there from Zhakiyanov. It wasn't intentional. Just before that, Howard Foster having a stern word with Burnett about heads. He's not really sticking the head in, it's just when they're on the inside, he's leaning on and the heads are rubbing more than anything else.
And the thing is with Burnett, he gets quite low with his head movement. It's his defensive mood. This round a lot more even. Ryan needs to get on the outside and do a little bit of work if he can, just to steal the round, really.
Nice 1-2 there from Zhakiyanov. He's just got that stoical expression. His facial expression just never, ever changes.
I never seen him show any emotion over the last 2 weeks, and I've been following him, knowing that the fight was coming up. Body shot on the inside from Burnett, another one. The third one, a little bit low.
Zhakiyanov just glancing down towards his belt line, looking icily at Burnett. Referee Howard Foster didn't say anything, didn't make any kind of indication as the bell goes, and we reach the halfway point of this unification. And it's a tough fight, it's a tough battle. We knew it would be. And a brief scare for Burnett in that previous round. And he just felt that left shoulder. I think that was where it was there.
Awkward, he went for a left hook and seemed to have his head dragged down, and maybe it was just something pinched in his collarbone. I think it was more of his neck. More that his neck got pulled down, and maybe there was a twinge there.
This is where the referee just came in and had a little bit of a word about, again, careless use of the head. He's just kind of boring in with it sometimes.
They're both at it, but that was a little bit blatant from Ryan.
Second fight, Ryan Zhanat.
Well, at the midway stage, let's have a look at your scorecard, Andy, and see how you've got this. And you've got it dead level. Dead level. There's not been much to pick in a lot of these rounds.
It's just whoever's dominating the fight more physically than the punches that landed. And this is extremely difficult for me to score against my friend and teammate. I'm sure when he watches the fight, I hope he doesn't fall out with me. But I just have to call it like I see it and try to be as unbiased as possible. Good left hook inside from Burnett there. He needs to keep his focus and don't get dragged into being preoccupied too much with being the dominant, having been the strong, dominant man in the ring. Be focused on his boxing and on landing effective punches.
Bit of water on the canvas in the red corner, I think, there, because Burnett's back foot just seemed to give way beneath him. Zhakyanov's just got Burnett back in that neutral corner. Couldn't really find too much of a way through. Nice right hand there, though.
Yeah, good right hand hook from Zhakiyanov there. Good response from Burnett. 3-punch combination, 2 to the body and 1 to the head.
The crowd enjoyed that one.
The heads again coming very close together from both men.
But I'm sure this Belfast crowd, if they didn't already, now feeling a healthy dose of respect for Zhanat Zhakiyanov, because he is a warrior. He is going absolutely nowhere.
I would like to see Ryan maybe try and set something, maybe try and set that uppercut up by throwing. They tried it there, but by throwing the jab, right hook, jab, right hook, and then on the third one, changing it into an uppercut might have an effect.
He just dipped his head right forward there, Burnett. It was kind of square on to Zhakiyanov, but it was a peculiar kind of move, really. And just pulled it back. Zhakiyanov just trying to get something done on the inside as Burnett just leans on. There's not been any daylight between them at all at any stage.
But he's not been that effective this round, Zhakiyanov. Even though he's been at close range, he hasn't managed to land anything telling. And while they're right at distance and while they're inside, Ryan is landing the telling punches.
There's a nice jab there from Burnett, which landed nice and square on Zhakiyanov.
I would like to see Ryan get on his toes now a little bit and just be the matador to the bull. Let Zhakiyanov fall short, feint him, let him fall short and just turn him and move him around. and almost in a way, without being proved, make him look silly, you know, box him and move. Make it easy for himself, just for a couple of rounds. He's already proven that he can stand toe-to-toe. Good punches from Burnett there. The eye-catching punches are coming from Burnett in this round.
In this round, he's just managed to take half a step back at times, give himself room to manoeuvre and crack a couple of shots off. And the added advantage to that, too, is that they're easy for the judges to see. A lot of inside work sometimes. It's difficult for the judges to pick up on it, but if there's just that little bit of distance like that, for example, you can see that one landing all day long.
Yeah, and Zhanat knew it, too. The fight has been mostly fought like that at close range. But when it's at distance, Ryan is landing the cleaner, more effective punches than the scoring punches.
Well, that was the hardware that's on offer, used to the owner of a World Championship belt with a different organisation, but the IBF and the WBA both with their belts on the line here, and it's always great to see a unification. And
it's
another really good thing about a unification too is you've got two champions in there, so you don't have any of this nonsense where the challenger's required to rip the title off the champion. You know, I've never really agreed with that. When the bell goes, the title is vacant, surely, but they both got one, so there'll be none of that discussion here.
You know, it's rare in boxing that you have arguably the two best fighters in the division fighting off. But these two guys, they should be commended for this. You know, anyone would forgive them for taking an easy defense in their first defense. But when the fight was offered to Burnett and Zhakiyanov, they both jumped at the chance to become unified champion. And this is why you can see here in this fight how much it means to them and how hard they're fighting to win that other belt.
Dave Coldwell might have something to say about that, I think. I'm sure he rates Jamie McDonald up there in the top two in the division also, but that's what makes it such a good division. It's a very competitive division.
I did say arguably.
Well, there'll be plenty of arguments about it, and hopefully they will all be resolved by them all fighting each other. That's what we want to see,
Good,
and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Hooking punches round the side of the head, and one landed, one short left hook landed on the chin. Good first minute of the round for him. Uppercut from Burnett on the inside.
Uppercut was landed well. And again, a similar kind of punch followed by the left of the body, but Zhakiyanov just doesn't flinch. He doesn't yield, wilt, or give an inch.
This is a hard fought fight. Both men will be very sore in the morning.
Nice right hand on the inside there from Zhakiyanov, just as he had the arms of Burnett pinned in a position where there wasn't really anything he could do with them, and capitalised on it.
It's good work from Burnett when he gets a bit of distance. But it's very hard against Zhakiyanov. He's always in forward motion, always looking to come forward, always looking to close the distance.
Well, you talk about things being up close and personal. This is as up close and personal as a fight gets, because they've been right on top of each other right from the very first bell. As soon as it sounded, Zhakiyanov was across the ring and looking to try and get on Burnett's shoulder, and Burnett has never particularly discouraged that.
Good clean punches from Ryan there up close, and a good punch to almost land on the hip. I know those are sore, and they really. Burnett has Zhakiyanov backed up now, working at close range. Good uppercuts on the inside.
Zhakiyanov did a good job there, though, of turning his man. Just got a hold of that right arm and then used his feet well, just pivoting around that front foot.
Body shot from Burnett, really thudded in.
Well, surely the pace of this has got to tell on one of these two, if not both of them, at some point. It would be incredibly impressive were it not to, because this is very, very hard.
One thing about Ryan Burnett is that he can do this for 12 rounds. He could possibly do 15 rounds. He's the hardest working boxer I've ever trained with in my life. And I've trained with all of the great fighters of the last 10 years.
Burnett just trying to dig in those blows from close range, and this is what we've had all the way through, right from the very, very beginning.
trying to break him. And don't move forward, drop down and rip the hips downstairs. Be harsh on yourself, right? You told me you could break it. You understand?
Well, you heard it, Adam Booth saying to Ryan Burnett, you told me you could break it. I want you to go out and prove it.
Quite confrontational there from Adam in the corner. Almost laying down the challenge to Burnett, saying, you said you could do it, now show me you can do it. And even though, you know, people would think, and I've thought that Burnett should box and move and make this an easy fight. In the corner, Adam Booth, Roger Lee, they're all being very encouraging of Burnett when he's standing toe-to-toe and trading with Zhakiyanov. Hands down now, showing a little bit of flash from Burnett. A little bit of what we thought we might see from him.
And this is obviously what they trained for. This was the plan. Zhakiyanov looking for a left-hander kind of lead left uppercut really, but couldn't land it. Just backed off there and found a touch of space to deliver the hook.
That was a good left hook. Ryan loaded him too much. Good double jab left, right hand by Burnett. Great jab, break-up jab, stop Zhakiyanov in his face, and a good uppercut, right left hook from Burnett. He's really starting to find a little flow in there now, and maybe it's the pace of the fight, maybe Zhakiyanov is starting to slow down a little bit. But Burnett seems to have found some sort of flow in there and seems to be quite comfortable with the way the fight's going.
Well, just as he walked onto that jab, you could see Zhakiyanov just try and gather himself a bit, just got those feet moving, and Burnett just unloading on him there.
Uppercut left, right hand, and followed with a break-up jab. And a 1-2. Great punching from Ryan Burnett. Great boxing.
The crowd really looking to Burnett now to put his foot down inside the final minutes of round 9. Noise level here has just gone up a few decibels. Zhakiyanov comes back with a sneaky right on the inside, but Burnett just dips his shoulder to his right and shovels that uppercut up the centre again.
This is what this crowd's been waiting for, to see Ryan Burnett in full flow. Oh, heavy left hook from Ryan Burnett off the ropes. Zhakiyanov is one tough man, has a great chin to take that punch.
Zhakiyanov just breaking and throwing the right hand. Burnett comes back with the right as well. Though as the bell goes at the end of another grueling round. Well, let's check in with Dave Caldwell and see what he's making of it. He's ringside with Andy Scott.
Dave, the general consensus is that it's close. How are you seeing it?
I've got it very, very close. I think it's a brutal fight. You know, when it's put close and it's close quarter stuff, you don't really know who's winning the fight because, you know, one man has success and the next man does. The second that there's a little bit of space, then Ryan Burnett gets his shots off and the flashy combinations, and then he looks like he's the man that's in control. But then straight away, Zhakiyanov's back on his chest again. The one thing is up close, I think Ryan's having a lot of success with his left hook downstairs. His body shots will have an effect in the last 3 rounds of this fight if he keeps on going downstairs up close. Rather than trying to fight and trade up top with him, keep going downstairs, whip that uppercut, yeah, but keep finishing off downstairs with left hook underneath. But as long as possible, create that space.
Okay, very quickly, you've worked with Ryan Burnett in camp with Jamie McDonnell. Are you on a scouting mission here as well?
No, we've got Solis. We've got Solis next. That's all I'm bothered about.
Good, Dave. Well dodged.
Into the 10th. Dave makes a good point there, because I think the more eye-catching work has probably come from Burnett.
And that's why I'm giving him the rounds. I have Burnett ahead now by quite a few rounds, but up to like halfway point it was almost even. Burnett's doing the more work. just up close and at range, I think Ryan Burnett's doing the more quality work. Got to be careful with the heads there coming close together. He's starting to employ the jab now, which will have a good effect.
Zhakiyanov will just keep coming right until the very, very end. He's never looked really hurt by anything Burnett's thrown at him. He's never really looked like he's hurt Burnett either, though. Burnett with a right to the body there. Zhakiyanov, a huge star in Kazakhstan, not as big as Gennady Golovkin, obviously, but he's not that far behind. When he won the interim title, he was given a house by the president. He gave that to his mother. He was given another one when he won the full title. He gave that to his sister. His brother had to make do with a car. But they're very proud of him back in Kazakhstan, and they should be.
Good exchange of hooks there. Zhakiyanov with a slightly better hook. Good body shot from Burnett. He's had to take that toll at some stage. I like the little head movements Ryan Burnett is doing inside up close. It's just little dips and little rolls. It just seems like that. Just makes him that little bit evasive and just makes him slip under the punches.
Just a little bit of marking up under the left eye. Burnett, inevitable really in a fight like this, you would say. But Zhakiyanov just hasn't really got the mark on him at all.
He's teak tough, I think. And some of the body shots that Burnett has been whipping in would knock down a tree. But he keeps coming forward, Zhanat.
He landed a right hand there as Burnett was coming forward too. Just came onto it slightly. And for the first time maybe in the entire fight, when these two just fall into each other, they're a touch slower, a microsecond slower to disentangle themselves. Just looking for a second maybe where they can just get a bit more air in.
Well, it's at that point of the fight now, the 10th round. They know 11 and 12 coming up, and they're the big rounds. So mentally, you kind of just take a little lapse and get ready for the big finish. Seriously good right hand from Ryan Burnett there in the exchange. Landed clean. But again, Zhakiyanov walks forward. They finished the round for Burnett there.
Zhakiyanov just pushing that gum shield out. Makes his way back to the corner. Well, deafening noise inside the SSC arena. But these are interesting points of the fight for corner work. Let's just listen to Hatton.
Two more rounds. Do you want it? Come on, son. Round 11. More punches. 5 and 6.
More animated in the Zhakiyanov corner than Adam Boud was in the Burnett corner. He's always very calm, Adam Boud. Ricky Hatton looking to kind of light a bit of a fire underneath Zhakiyanov there. I like the way he is in the corner with his fighter's hat, and he seems to really know how to communicate with them, even when there's a language barrier, which there is with Zhakiyanov.
He almost got a smile out of Zhakiyanov. Yeah, just really trying to motivate his man, saying come forward with 4 straight and then look for the hooks.
Southpaw briefly there, Burnett, at the start of the round. I haven't seen too much of that.
Yeah, the first time in this fight that he's tried it. Back to orthodox now.
That jab there, Burnett. Not a good looking right hand there from him.
Great jab from Burnett off the ropes.
Zhakyanov's got Burnett back in that neutral corner, but he couldn't really do an awful lot with him. He took a A little bit of a step back to try and get his hands free, his arms free, but then Burnett just...
I think he's looking to box now a bit, Burnett. I think he said, OK, we fought now, your fight, now try and fight my fight.
Howard Foster just breaking them, and as soon as he removes that arm, Zhakiyanov just straining at it.
Great body shots from Burnett. Zhakiyanov was one tough man. He came back with his own punches.
Good left hand on the inside there. You could just see the jaw just being flicked from side to side of Zhakiyanov, but again, he didn't even grimace. There was nothing, no reaction to it whatsoever.
This is a display of conditioning. I mean, a skill, strength, speed, all those things, reflexes, but also conditioning. To be able to do this in round 11 after fighting Zhakyanov's fight, it's quite something to behold.
Are you surprised by the game plan?
A little bit I am. You know, I'm very close with Adam, but he's very coy when it comes to talking about game plans, and as much as you'd like to say you wouldn't tell anybody, you know, word gets around. But maybe this was the game plan, maybe this wasn't the game plan, but this is where they find themselves. And Burnett's handing away good shots from Zhakiyanov on the inside. Good right uppercut. Gets the acknowledgement from Ryan Burnett there, a shake of the head.
Well, we know how tight some of these rounds have been, and we know that Zhakiyanov has been the man on the front foot. He's been the man coming forward. It's about landing effective punches. That's what boxing is about. But in the eyes of some judges, particularly in the USA, a lot of the time they do prefer the man on the front foot.
If you go back to Canelo and Golovkin, how you scored a fight. Personally, I thought a draw was the right result. But I know the first time I watched that, I thought Golovkin won because he was coming forward. He was throwing punches. He was trying to engage. Similar fight here, but Burnett is holding his feet. He's trying to exchange as well. I have Burnett ahead, but I couldn't easily see how you'd have Zhanat ahead, but I could see how you could have Zhakiyanov ahead.
Well, they've just got to summon it all up now for one final last titanic effort. 3 more minutes for both of these two. And both of the corners, I'm sure, will have been telling them that it's very, very tight and that they both have to go out and win this final round. The SSE Arena on its feet. Andy Lee's scorecard as we head into the final 3 minutes. Let's see how you've got it. You've got Burnett ahead because from the second half of the fight onwards, you've seen him winning those rounds. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I don't know, I could be biased because my fondness for Ryan, but it's just how I'm seeing the fight. And it's totally subjective because Zhanat is coming forward, he's applying the pressure. And it depends if you value that in your scoring, but I value clean, effective punching, and that's what I've seen from Ryan. The more cleaner punches, the more effective punches have come from Ryan.
And again, they've still got the strength on the inside there to just lean on, just to grapple, bring every ounce that they've got to bear on each other and try and find a little bit of room, just a millimetre, fractions, so they can get those punches away. Still Zhakiyanov comes forward, looking for those shots. Burnett just digging in his toes and looking for the right hand and then the left to the body.
One, two off the ropes from Burnett and just dip it ahead and have a little look at Zhakiyanov. Doesn't need to load up now. I can see he's trying to load up, maybe go for a grandstand finish.
And the crowd, the Belfast crowd, is trying to urge him on to exactly that now. First ever unification bout in Ireland. He would be the first ever Irish fighter to achieve this on home soil. And everybody here and everybody watching has been treated to a terrific display from both of these two. It's been hard, it's been gritty. It's been tough all the way through. And look at that there, Burnett just hammering away to the body, with Zhakiyanov just grits his teeth and comes back again.
This has been world class. I want to say boxing, but fighting. These guys have fought tooth and nail. Neither want to give an inch.
Well, we've had plenty of that tonight, haven't we? And you're right, that's what this is. This is a fight. And it's been a fight right from the very, very start. Not necessarily the noble art all the way through, not necessarily the sweet science all the way through, but there's a lot of skill on show in there. But by the bucket load, there's resilience, there's will to win. There's just refusal to take a backward step by either of these two at any point.
The last 20 seconds of this round, very hard to split him. Good left-hand lead from Burnett. Almost from the southpaw stance.
Well, I'm sure both corners will celebrate this when the bell goes. And they'll be in for a wait for the scorecards, and still they just pour it on. The bell about to go any time now, and there it goes. Touch of gloves between the two. Terrific contest. Terrific contest between two well-matched, really tough competitors. They both wanted this. They both wanted the unification. They're in this for the tough fights, for the big fights, for the belts, for the acclaim, for the money as well, of course. But they delivered here tonight, they really have. We thought it would be a really good fight, and it's lived up to it. And Andy, even for you in that final round, very difficult to split them there. It's been difficult to split them in a number of rounds. You've got Burnett with that 5-point margin, but as we've been discussing, judges could be seeing this differently.
You know, a lot of people talk about wanting to be a great champion, you win the world title, but honestly, most people just want to secure their future and have a couple of fights and defenses and make enough money to go home and, you know, live happily ever after. When Ryan Burnett said he wanted to be a great champion, and you have to respect Zhanat, Zhakiyanov, they really meant it. They fought each other, they put it all on the line. They knew that after this fight, one of them wouldn't be champion. They could have easily boxed other people and both remain champions. They put it all on the line tonight now. The score's just being tallied here. Hopefully, there's no controversy again, and Burnett is called the winner.
Well, they've got to take their time down there. This is not something you want to rush. Make absolutely sure that it is right. Well, it must have been exhausting for her. I often wonder how family members take it, to be honest. Some don't come, but more come than don't come. I can understand why you might stay away, but you just need to know, I think, you need to be here.
I just think it's the complete lack of any control of what's happening to somebody who you dearly love. I know my brother was all boxing, and it was probably the worst feeling I ever had, watching them box.
Okay. Well, we're about to find out. Let's get to our MC, Craig Stephen.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mr. Howard Foster will bring together both these World Championship boxers. And I think it's only right, Belfast, that we show our appreciation for both our boxers in the ring. We go to our judges' score totals. Judge Valerie Dorset, 118,110. Carlos Sucre, 119,109. Pasquale Procopio, 116,112. All in favor of the winner. He is now the WBA Super and the IBF Bantamweight Champion of the World. From Belfast, Northern Ireland,
history maker, and the tears were coming, and the family celebrating. They fall into each other's arms there, Adam Booth and Ryan Burnett. Those two have such a special bond. He's been through a lot, this kid, he really has. His brain scan came back when he was young, when he'd only just started, and he was told that he would never be able to box again. He was standing in what he described as a grotty apartment in Manchester by himself, hearing these words on the end of a telephone line, and his world just fell apart. But he wouldn't accept it. He proved his fitness to box. He and his father went through trials and tribulations as well. They were living in their car in the supermarket car park at one point as they tried to reignite his career. But they did it. In June, he became the IBF champion, and tonight he becomes a unified champion. The scorecards, I think a couple of them maybe were a little bit wide. They weren't too different to yours, though, to be perfectly honest, and there were a lot of close rounds, and if you gave them mostly to Burnett, then that's what you ended up with. And there's Ryan Burnett. He's been through it with his son. Everybody has. They feel the punches, and they share the success, and there's every reason that they should. We should tip our hat to Zhanat Zhakiyanov as well. He is an absolute beast. But in the ring now, with the new unified champion in the bantamweight division, Ryan Burnett, is Andy Scott.
Let's let Ryan Burnett enjoy his moment first. Ricky, Zhanat, tip your hat to him. He came in for a unification fight against Ryan Burnett. How did you see it tonight?
To be honest, I thought Ryan just nicked it, but them scorecards were shocking. I think even the hardest of Belfast fight fans would say that was a little bit harsh on Zhanat, but I think the better man just won in the end, yeah.
OK, Ricky, thanks for talking to us. Let's grab a quick word with Ryan Burnett. Guys, sorry to spoil your photos. Ryan, just tell us how it feels to be unified champion of the world.
I've seen this so clearly. It was a tough fight for me, but I had to dig deep and I've done it. Thank you, everyone, I've done it. Thank you.
Talk us through your game plan. We know that he's a bully on the inside, he's a pressure fighter. Talk us through your tactics.
The plan was to try to box him, keep it at range, but he's that strong, kept coming forward. I had to adapt to his game, and I had to be cute, and the shots he was throwing, I had to block, make sure they weren't getting through. And thank you, God. Thank God it worked, and I'm champion now.
Was there part of you that wanted to prove a point tonight that you can box as well as fight?
Yeah, I boxed Haskins. He's one of the trickiest people in the division. Now I've boxed the hardest hitter in the division. And I think I proved to God, I thank God that I proved the point.
Congratulations. Let's have a quick word on your future with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, are you going to try and build a fortress here in Belfast? Is it more champions for Ryan Burnett?
I think he has built a fortress here in Belfast. Unified champion of the world, Ryan Burnett. You know, he's done remarkably well. Adam Booth deserves a lot of credit because the game plan was outstanding. Want to come back here in February and March and try and pick up the other belts in the division.
Who's on the radar?
Well, you've got some great champions. You've got also Jamie McDonald fighting Liborio Solis in Monaco in a couple of weeks. Paul Butler's watching this at home. You've got Tete as well, a great champion. He wants to pick them all up. WBC vacant at the moment for now. He deserves a lot of credit, Ryan Burnett, unified champion of the world.
Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, tough, brutal fight between two true warriors, but it is Belfast's own Ryan Burnett who becomes a unified world bantamweight champion. Davey said before the fight, he didn't just want to be world champion. Ryan Burnett said he wanted to be a great world champion. Surely he's done that now.
Do you know what? He's taken a massive step towards that. I mean, when you win a world title, 9 times out of 10, fighters, they want a nice, easy defence in front of their own crowd. He's gone straight in against the division's toughest man. We all know how tough Zhanat is, you know, and he met him head on, you know. He's very